Okay, once more, this is my attempt to cohesively tell the story of how once as teenagers we took possession of a Civil War era battery of field artillery and the hilarious tale of carnage that ensued when we were allowed to command it at a state park. Um, Everyone loves this story, so I will attempt not to mess it up. It's sometime between the year 2001 and the year 2003. It's Father's Day weekend, and we are at Fort Stevens State Park, more specifically Battery Russell, um, camping as Boy Scouts, which is relevant later in the story. And I will show you a little bit about where we are because it will also be situationally relevant. Okay, this is the Columbia River. Very important. This is Fort Stevens State Park area. Actually, there's a whole bunch of area. This is Fort Stevens State Park. And then way up here is where we're staying. We're actually staying right back here is exactly where we're staying. This is roughly what we call Battery Russell, and this is where the demonstration is being carried out. I think that might actually be one of the guns on demo. I'm not sure anymore. Anyway, so there's a little setup here where some nice fellows are describing how a Civil War era field artillery piece is run and maintained, and how a piece is a single gun, a battery is typically 3 or 4 guns. Again, it varies wildly by time and place. But anyway, a battery of guns. Civil War era. The public is here. It's Father's Day weekend. The place is packed with people. Just packed with people. And man, we are bored out of our minds because there's too many people for us to really run around and have fun. So we're playing the Happy Tourist game. Give me just a sec. I gotta slow down because my heart hurts when I get too elevated. So anyway, there we are. Teenagers. You know, me, no beard. Try not to think about it. I was an ugly child before my beard. Not much better now, but it helps. The masks are the best thing that's ever happened to me. Anyway, there we are. Teenagers. There's somewhere between 8 and 14 of us. I don't remember, honest to God, how many were there that particular day. I only remember that there were enough of us to run a gun, according to the math. And that B, we were, as they say, player effing characters. And these poor souls who are like semi-professional reenactors, these guys have been in like movies and they own their own field gun that they take around to do cool stuff. And they were firing it with blanks and coolness. And they do the whole demo, and then they would say to the crowd, who thinks they could do this? And you know, there's mixed results. Most people are there playing tourists. They're not all that interested. But there we are, hiding among the ranks of the normals, a bunch of teenage boys. And I look at my friend, and I look at AJ, who was my best friend at the time, later relevant, and my brother, and Greg, and Jeff, and Leonard, and everyone else who was there that day. And I say, guys, we gotta do this. We super gotta do this. And they're all like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. So we do. And when the fellow gets to the end of the thing, he says, oh, who thinks they can do it? And I pretend I'm like super sheepish. I'm like, I think I could do it. Yeah, and he says, well, you're gonna need a whole crew. Do you think you have enough bodies to do it out here? And I'm just like, yeah, we could probably make it work. And I'm just like, well, what do you guys think? You want to do it? And my friends are just like sitting randomly across the benches like, well, yeah, okay. We'll try. And we shuffle down there, because remember, we're just in regular people clothes. And he says, okay, you're going to need a commander, and you're going to need all of the 9 portions of this little venture, and we parcel everyone out. We have a commander. We have a loader. We have a guy who literally swabs the guns. We've got a guy who runs the worm. We have a powder monkey. Technically, they're supposed to have two. We have a powder monkey. We have a loader, and the loader is the guy who brings the ball, the actual cannonball. We have a guy who rams the rod and puts the wad, W-A-D, in the barrel, pushes it all the way down to secure the cannonball at the back after the powder charge is placed. Everything else. And he says, okay, you guys have got it? And we're just like, yeah, okay. He says, all right, you may begin when ready. And I turn to him, looking, like a 14-year-old boy, and I say, sir, I have some questions. And he says, all right, shoot, what are they? I said, what are my guns? What is my target? What is my terrain? And he blinks and he says, well, the field is yours, son. You can have whatever you want, really. And I look to my friends and I'm like, then the field is set. I want a 50-meter high hill, 50 meters wide, roughly tabletop, and 50 meters in elevation. He's like, okay, it's a little oddly specific, but okay. What is your field? I said, to the southwest, we have marsh and scrublands. To the dead west of us, we have open sand and tall grass. To the north, I have dense, scrubby trees and marsh and broken rock. He says, okay, sounds good. And he says, what else? And I said, I'd like 3 batteries a gun. I'd like 3 companies of infantry, 1 light, 1 medium, and 1 heavy, and I'd like dragoons. And he's like, okay, what is your target? And I say the target is a enemy landing force. They are bringing in ships. They will have dropped 3 companies of heavy foot, and are bringing up light and medium foot to follow for a daylight engagement. He goes, okay, sounds pretty heavy, but the field is yours. You may begin your orders. And I turn to AJ, and I'm just like, or issue the orders. And he says, what are your orders? And I say, I want all guns loaded, full charge, ball shot. I want gun elevation set for maximum range. And the guy, because there's a couple of guys there who are from the demo, and he says, you want maximum range? Maximum range. I want plunging fire. I want to find my targets at least 1,500 yards. First gun to fire from the southwest, because remember, we're at the beach. On the west coast of the United States. So the wind is blowing dead west towards me, but also slightly from the north because that's the way the terrain is here. It just is. And the fellow says, okay. So we do the thing, right? We show everybody, this is how you load the gun. And somebody who is the powder monkey, my brother in this case, runs up and slides a thing the size of a roll of paper towels into the barrel. Into the barrel. And the wad runs it all the way back, the ramrod. Second fellow, the loader, brings out a cannonball. Again, wherever it is over here. 6-pounder, because that's the kind of gun they had, was a 6 and a 12. And we run the whole thing. The wad is loaded, the gun is adjusted for elevation, and a prick is put down through the hole in the back of the barrel, which is how you prime it so that you can fire it by match or flintlock or whatever. It doesn't really matter for this. It's all the same, basically. And I order first gun out of each caliber, meaning the different size of guns, fires 1 shot, which is a ranging shot for maximum range. 6-pounder, 1,500 yards. 12-pounder, like 2,500 yards or something. 68-pounder, 3,000 yards. And the man looks at me and he says, why do you have 3 batteries, if I may ask, and you are firing single shot out of one gun, and they're all 3 different guns? And I look at him very sternly, and I say, sir, this is a naval station. This is a coastal defense battery, and we will not allow enemy ships anywhere near our waters. They've come to drop troops. I will make them worry. If I cannot kill them, they will know fear. He says, okay, I mean, the beach is like less than a mile away in real life. He says, okay, fair enough. He says, aren't you worried about them firing back? Nope, not at all. Okay, see, because the ships can't see us because we're on a hill, behind a hill. We're firing over the top of the hill. It's a fictional fight, but it's fine. So anyway, there we go. First shots, wind. I say, second gun, each battery correct for range and windage, which is how far up and down, how far left and right, because the wind is blowing the cannonball around. Doesn't travel in a straight line, travels in an arc, and the wind makes it do goofy things. And the guy, just sort of smirks and goes, okay, third guns, find your mark and fire. Fourth gun, find your mark and fire. Loaders, prepare solid shot. Second round, first gun, adjust for range. Target is now, we're calling it 50 yards closer, because it's taking about a minute to reload, because, whatever. We had to choose something. And the guy's like, okay, so we run that several times, and he's just like, okay, your target is now 600 yards away. And I look to AJ, and I'm just like, instruct all gun batteries. I want double charge, or I want full charge double ball shot. Set the guns to -3 degrees angle. So, because we're sitting up on a hill, they're now going to tip down, because we were firing straight, and then we were firing over to adjust for range for theoretical misses. And the man looks at me and he says, you want double ball? Yeah, double ball. I want 2 balls in every tube. He says, okay, that'll screw up your aim. And I'm just like, that's fine. Set gun depression -3 degrees. I want those balls to skip. Before they hit the lines of infantry, they're going to bounce across the field. This is traditionally how it's done. It's really messy and ugly. And then I say, first gun, fire, second gun, adjust for first gun, fire, third gun, adjust for second gun, fire, and so on. Gunners, loaders, everyone may reload as they, reload as you will. Basically, it's like fire as you will, but it's artillery. You're not actually doing that. Like, shoot, shoot, shoot. So they do. Remember, there's only one gun and there's only like 9 of us, so the other thing is fictionally happening. And then the guy says, your target is now 500 yards away. You are getting into the point where you can hear people yelling orders, blah, blah, blah. And I say, Battery 1, prepare to withdraw the 6-pound battery. Battery 2, adjust field for fire. Scatter your target 15 degrees, basically from straight on. So they're shooting off to one side, and then battery 3, scatter your shot 15 degrees, again, tilting all one way. I want double loads. And the man says, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, prepare to withdraw the battery. Bring it below the hill. Call up the casements. I want the bugle sound. And he says, okay, sure. It'll take time. And I'm like, damn the time. He says, minutes are passing. IRL. And he says, the target is now 300 yards away. You are beginning to receive the outside limit of like real musket fire. And I say, that's fine. 12 pounders. I want grape shot followed by canister shot. Or no, sorry, it was, I want grape shot loaded. I want a ball loaded. I want full powder charge, set elevation for like -4 degrees. So we are firing at like 3 football fields of distance, or soccer pitches for you and the rest of the world. And I am firing at an angle that at 50 meters of elevation, basically every I can't remember the exact breakdown, but basically the front row of the infantry in this line is going to hear the cannonballs go over their head. The second line is going to feel it, and the third line is going to lose their flags. Everybody behind them is toast, because this stuff is coming in, and the grape shot is like the size of your fist. It's like 15 or 20 steel or lead balls packed into a thing that comes apart like a shotgun. So the cannonball comes out first, and then the grape shot comes out behind it, shotgunning whatever is around it. And the man gives me kind of a sour look. Hold on, I gotta move. Anyway, so he gives me kind of a sour look, and he's like, yeah, okay, that's what we're doing. And we're like keeping a fictional tally of losses. And so we fire, and I stipulate this time, you may fire when ready. We are not adjusting for elevation or windage at this point. All batteries may fire. Battery commander, second round. I want loaded. Canister shot, then grape shot, full powder load. Set elevation -5 degrees, which is like the maximum amount of downward shoot that a normal gun will do in a normal environment, because then the energy starts kicking up too high and it damages the carriages. And the guy looks at us and he goes, you what? And I said, I want a double load. I want canister, then on top, I want grape shot. Guns, you may fire at will. He says, he says, Battery A, which was the 6 pounders, is now ready to begin the retreat. And I say, excellent, disregard retreat order. 6 pounders, you are ordered to flank the side of the hill. You are ordered double load, canister shot. You are ordered fire at will. Heavy infantry, you are to remain in station. When the enemy reaches 200 yards, you are to load, you are to fix bayonets, you are to bring out line abreast formation, you are to flank from the south, you are to continue flanking, you do not engage from the front. And the man goes, you what? It's like all those infantry have just been sitting behind the hill. Well, they're itching for a fight now. He says, enemy is now 200 yards away. Batteries, you may begin. Fire at will. I want double powder. I want double canister. Final load. You will load. Canister. You will load. Chain shot, which is literally like bolas. It's a cannonball, a length of chain, and a cannonball used to take the sails off of ships. You will set elevation -5 degrees. You will fire at will. You will withdraw under cover of smoke. Infantry. All infantry are to advance to just below the top of the hill. Fix bayonets. All men to remain crouched. Load. You will fire. You will fire at will when you reach the top of the hill. And the guy looks at his friend, and he looks at us, and he says, you ordered double powder, I ordered double powder, I ordered canister, I ordered chain. And he says, why did you order chain, Sean? I said, this is a naval station, sir. And he goes, sure, it is. It is a naval station. Why are you firing chain shot at infantry? And I said, because I want it to sing before it reaches them, and I want them to know fear right before they disappear into the smoke. And when the smoke clears, all they'll see is an ocean of bayonets coming over the hill, and they will know that we have chosen this day and this place, and none of them will see Christmas at home. And he looks at his friend, and he looks at us, and he goes, in God's name are you people? And remember, we're like 14 to 16, and my friend AJ's like, I don't know, 130 pounds, right? Like 5.5 feet tall. And he just steps up, gives him the absolute salute. And he says, "Sir, my name is Alexander Buck. My father is Master of," and like 5 honorific titles. "Non-commissioned officer, Army National Guard, 105 millimeter field guns. We are," and just like list out the whole thing. And the dude looks at his friend and he goes, "This was a trick." And I was like, "Bring in the dragoons!" And he goes, "What? Bring in the dragoons. Infantry, you are ordered to advance. You may fire at will. Dragoons, you will flank. You will capture and kill their command. No one makes it back to the boats alive." Those dudes just about died. They were just like, I don't even know what just happened, but even in the Civil War, I'm pretty sure these were war crimes.